bent that pull top pin. Pull top pin. Primary's all up in the tree there. This is the guy that come down in the wind. Today we're going to be doing another episode of Being a Lineman. Just while we're waiting for my computer to boot up here, guys, I want to mention the Utility Expo on my hat right here. You guys all know I'm a huge fan. First time I went was in 2023 and I was blown away. It's the only show I'd been to that actually lets you get a hands-on demo of the tools, the equipment, and the technology that can make a real difference in your operations. The 2025 Expo, it's coming up fast. I'm going to be there, and I've got an exclusive code for you guys so that you can be there too. So use my code Aaron40 to save 40% on your admissions to the largest trade show in the utility industry. I'll put a link down in the description. Follow that. Again, the code will be Aaron40, and that is good through to June 27th to save 40% on your admission to the Utility Expo 2025. I hope to see you all there. And let's see what these work orders are coming up here. I got a bunch of them showing up here now. So it's weekend. We had some freak wind gusts blow through the area. It's only supposed to get worse. So I just got my first call now, 8 customers out of power. I'll bring you guys along for the ride, and I can't imagine there not being more calls come in throughout the day. So, all right, wow. Calls are rolling in fast. I didn't even get my computer booted up yet when the fire department called. Massive tree came down, took out primary. It's all laying on the ground. The fuse did blow. So I called the dispatcher, told him to call in 2 more guys ASAP. I've just in the last 30 seconds, 4 other calls rolled in. So I'll give you guys a quick tour of this first scene that we're looking at now. Bent that pull top pin. Pull top pin. Primary's all up in the tree there. This is the guy that come down in the wind. All back lot, of course. See the primary and the wire there. We don't want to get any closer to that. And a brand new pole that we changed last year. Normal open on the pole there. Nice. On the other side of that line, that's going to make things difficult. Alright.
Okay, you can go ahead and open 807 SO88, so we're permitting 160-460 to report.
Okay, 10-4, so you said I can go ahead and open 8007 SO88, install tag 160-460 and report.
10-4.
Okay, won't be too long.
Perfect, thanks.
Alright, thanks. Alright, so what we're doing here right now, guys, is there's a 3-phase line coming in that branches off into multiple single-phase lines. The fuse blew on the 3-phase feeding this branch where the wire's down. There is a solid blade cut out. We're going to open that to isolate the faulted area and get that 3-phase switch closed back in. That'll pick up quite a few customers, and we will be able to take our work permit from there.
You have reached the DSO. If this is an emergency, please press 1. For Central Region, press 2. For Eastern Region, press 3. For Northern Region, press 4. For Special Projects, press...
Hey, Joe, Aaron here.
There.
I had some switching steps from Ryan for this primary down call.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so I'd like to report that I opened 8007 SO88, installed work permit tag 160460.
240 open, 8007 SO88, installed work permit tag 160460.
Yep, 10-4.
Alright, so now I'd like you to go back and close that open phase 8007 SO45 report.
Yep, 10-4. You said I can close the one phase that's open at 8007 SO45 and report.
I've actually got 3 more check opens, Roy. Do you want them now too?
Yeah, I haven't gone through it myself yet, but I'll take them and then I'll run through them.
Sure, yeah.
Okay.
You ready?
Yep, go ahead.
Check open, normal open 8007 SO50.
Yep.
Check open 8007 SO52.
Okay.
And check open 8007 S301. Install that work permit tag 160460 at all 3 of those locations as well.
Okay, 10-4. So in addition to that close step, you said that I can go ahead and check open 8007 SO50, check open 8007 SO52, check open 8007 S301, install work permit tag 160460 at all 3 of those locations, and report.
10-4 is correct.
Okay, perfect. And while I got you here too, just looking at my calls, when we close that 3-phase in, it should take care of... Oh, it must have grouped it already. I did have one for... Okay, it must have grouped that. I don't know if you want to make a new call off this switch and me clear that P483, or what's the best...
Yeah, just keep the 43. It doesn't really matter to us.
Okay, I'll just stay working on this and the rest.
There's nobody no items on or anything, so yeah.
Okay, perfect. Sounds good. All right, I'll get back to you in a little bit. Right up. Thanks, bye. All right, so what we're doing there, I'm gonna head off and close that 3-phase switch. One of my partners that called in lives close by, so I'm gonna pick him up at home on the way over. The normal opens, I mentioned that I haven't checked them out myself. When I go on the map, I've got, it's not a live view, it's a normal system operation. Sometimes normal opens aren't in the normal position. Our dispatch sees that. They see the actual live version of what's in the field. So what I usually do when I take a work permit, I check all protection points myself. I look at the work area, and around my isolation zone, any switch that has an alternate feed coming in, there's a switch supposed to be open. I verify those all on my own on the computer. If I see an issue, then I will speak to my dispatcher, and he may say, no, that switch in the field's actually closed because there's a breaker out or whatever. I like to do that on my own without any outside influence. I find it better verifies your work. If I go in with an idea of what switches are my protection points, I communicate with them and they all line up, I feel much more comfortable than just the dispatcher giving me my normal opens, going off and tagging them. So it's actually a very important step in the field to make sure you fully understand your work zone rather than just relying on someone else. It's a good 2-step authentication to your work permit, for lack of better words. But we're gonna hit the road, go pick up Johnny. You guys all know Johnny. He was with us at the last Utility Expo. Gonna be coming again this year. So let's pick up Johnny and get that 3-phase switch closed back in. So I'm gonna show you guys this little bit of a map here. This 3-phase, this is where the switch is open here, feeding down this way, and it branches off into the single phase to the left. 3-phase carries on to the right. So there's no fuse on this pole. That's why the fuse blew on the 3-phase. So we're gonna get that closed in, and we actually isolated the work area right here. So we're gonna get back on a few customers on the single phase here, this whole section off to the right, and my normal opens, you can see there's another 3-phase line here that all ties in with my work area. So there should be a normal open coming off that site. Probably, I believe it's right here, but I can't zoom right in or I'll get too much customer sensitive information. But we're gonna drive around right now and get all those normal opens tagged as well. Normally, when we're closing in a cutout after a fault like this, we'll try our best to do it with the extendo stick from the ground. But as you can hear, the wind's picking up quite a bit. So we use the bucket for this guy, Johnny goes up and removes the door. You can actually see the blown fuse tail if you look real close, kind of flopping around, so he's careful not to bridge the cutout when he removes that. It is kind of a special door. When you have fuses above 100 amps, the doors, the fuse barrels are quite a bit larger. So we didn't have any of the newer style on the truck, so we decided to remove the cutout door and refuse that in the bucket with 200 amp fuse. Yo!
It wasn't smooth at all.
It was very smooth.
It kept getting jammed.
So the CA tag number is going to be 102455.
102455, got it.
So if you want to check open 807 SO88, you can check for potential. And then you can install it around there at 76L22, or you let me know where you install it, I guess. And I think that CA tag installed with the switch as well.
Okay, 10-4. Would you like that work permit tag removed that I already have installed at that pole, or?
No, I'll just change the name on it, that's fine.
Okay, sounds good. So, CA tag number 102455. You said I can go ahead and check open 8007 SO88, installed tag, check for potential. If none installed, DSO grounds, pole 76L22, but I'll confirm the pole number for the install.
Sounds good.
Okay, perfect. Thanks, Joe.
Talk to you soon.
Alright, bye. Alright, so I forgot to hit record at the first part of that conversation, but I did get a call from the fire department. We got 3-phase wires down on the ground. We're gonna bail out of this job.
Alma?
Yeah. We got wires on the ground there. Oh, there's the fire trucks again. Yeah, definitely don't want to leave that energized. So in this shot here, we can see that one of our protection points is actually on the pole that we're going to be working on. There's a live primary conductor feeding into the work area. Not always easily detectable just looking at our computer screen, especially on the dispatch side. But in the field itself, we've deemed this as a hazard. So we decide to communicate with our dispatch and cancel this protection point. We end up opening another sideline, which did knock out another, I think it was about 12 customers out of power, and moved our protection point back a few span. That way there was no live wires feeding into the work zone at all. So big change of plan, guys. We had Johnny take over my truck. He is gonna head to that fire call out of town. I'm gonna head to another district a few cities over and help with safety and field support. So not sure how messy it is there yet. I haven't had a chance to look at the outages in that area, but we're gonna grab a coffee and I've got a couple hour drive on the highway. I imagine we'll be spending the night in a hotel. So I'll let you guys know how the day progresses. Talk to you all soon. So just a bit of a gap in footage here. There ended up being about 30,000 outages come through just throughout my drive to the next city over. I ended up picking up a couple crews, some contractors, and I was going to basically be the foreman for those crews, lead them around and work on some outages in the neighboring city. Just before we start restoring power, I did see a call that was on the system indicating a hot meter. The new smart meters that we use have a temperature sensor on them that sends an alarm to our dispatch if it detects heat above, I believe it's around 100 degrees Celsius. So that could result in fire. The high temperature alarms are caused by a poor connection or broken lug behind the meter. So we take the contractors to this work location first, which we did find a broken lug in behind the meter. We disconnected the service and left it up to one of the local guys to restore power here once an electrician made repairs to this particular service.
Oh, really? Yeah, it got real hot. Yes, sir. All right. We'll
Yes, sir. That's funny. Alright guys, so the sun is going down. I'm actually in a spot here, right along the ocean. Nice view. We were just heading out to our job site. This is single phase here now, but I had passed a 3-phase switch that had 2 fuses open. I figured that fed into the area that I was heading into where there was 35 customers out of power, and then I hit a normal open in the single phase. So it's not. There's no other crews out here right now. So I called the dispatch. There's 86 customers off that 3-phase. It's 7:30 at night. The crews all have to be home by 10 p.m. We found the problem already on the 3-phase, so I figured rather than us carrying on, who knows what we're gonna run into. There could be multiple spans primary on the ground. There's some very large trees coming down. So we're gonna abandon that job. I sent the crew back to stand by at the switch where the 2 phases are open. I'm gonna tag this normal open point in the single phase here. We're gonna power shut off and get a permit on that 3-phase, open the remaining live phase, of course, install our grounds, and remove that tree that's on the 3-phase. So that'll get 86 customers back on. I'm really not familiar with this territory at all, so I'm heavily relying on their maps, cell phone services. Very, very spotty here. So right now we're just gonna call my dispatcher and see what we can figure out. The phones were not working earlier. Hey Kiefer, it's Aaron here. How you doing?
Good, Aaron. How you doing?
Good, good. We were actually just on our way out to a small call when I come across the 3-phase main road that's open.
Okay.
So I got the call on my tough book here now. It says Garnet settlement.
All right. All right. Just hang with me here for a second,
Okay.
Aaron.
Yeah, 86 customers.
Yep, I see it here.
Switch 8209 SO10.
10-4.
Okay, perfect. So 2 out of the 3 phases are open at 8209 SO10.
Yeah, copy that. 2 out of the 3 phases are open. 8209 SO10.
That's correct. We have a tree across the 3-phase at pole T113.
T113. You got a tree on the 3-phase. 10-4.
Yep, 10-4. And looks like I can use a normal open here, 8209 SO46.
8209 SO46, a normal open.
10-4. Are you
Alright.
seeing anything else tying into my work zone there?
I'll check her out here, Aaron.
Alright.
Oh, I see that the normal open out there on the single phase a little ways. And then coming back, there's not a thing until we get back here to that 8209 SO10.
Perfect, that's easy enough.
All right, so yeah, I'll make you up a permit then between those 2 protection points, that 8209 SO46 and 8209 SO10, Aaron.
That is correct.
Okay, yep, and I'll just set the phone down here while I do it, if that's all right.
Yep, that's no problem. And I've got contractors with me on this one here.
Got some contractors. Yep, 10-4, Aaron.
Okay.
Okay, thanks. Yeah, I have a couple of steps here for you, Aaron. Whenever you're ready.
Yep, go ahead.
You can check open, normal open, 8209 SO46. Install your work permit tag 160542. That's 160542. And then you can open 8209 SO10. Install that same work permit tag 160542 and report.
Yep, 10-4. So you said I can go ahead and check normal open 8209 SO46. Install work permit tag 160542. And then I can go ahead and open 8209 SO10, install work permit tag 160542 and report.
10-4, Aaron.
Okay, perfect. I'll be a good half hour. There's a lot of driving here.
Okay, gotcha. Yep, sounds good. I'll let probably get Adam when you call back, or hard to say who you'll get, but I'll let Adam know anyway.
Okay, perfect. Thanks, Kiefer.
Thanks, Aaron.
All right, bye. Hello.
Hey, Aaron. It's Kara calling from Logistics.
Hey.
I heard you booked your own room.
Yeah.
Just wondering where you booked. Excellent.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks so much.
Not a problem.
Bye.
All right, bye.
Operations Adam.
Hey, Adam, it's Aaron here.
Hey, Aaron.
I've got some switching for permit 160542.
542 or 524?
I've got written down 542.
You might be right. 542. There wasn't a 524 right in front of me. That's why.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I see it here.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead, Aaron.
That's the one at 8209 SO10.
That's it.
Okay, perfect. So I'd like to report that we opened 8209 SO10, installed workman tag 160542, and then we checked open 8209 SO46, installed workman tag 160542.
At 10-4, Aaron, you say that you checked open, a normal open 8209 SO46, installed workman tag 160542. And you opened or checked open 8209 SO10, installed workman tag 160542.
10-4, that is correct.
Okay, and you've got tree on the line at 8209 T113.
That is correct. Work location's 8209 T113. Tree on the 3-phase.
You did agree with the protection 8209 SO46 and 8209 SO10?
Yep, 10-4. I agree with the protection points 8209 SO46 and 8209 SO10.
Yeah, 10-4, and you agree with that. So whenever you're ready, your work permit 160542 between protection points 8209 SO46 and 8209 SO10 is approved and is now in effect. Check for potential. If never protect yourself necessary grounds and bonds at all time. Go to work and report when clear.
10-4, you said my work permit 160542 between protection points 8209 SO46 and 8209 SO10 has been approved now in effect. We can go ahead and check for potential. If not installed necessary grounds bonds, go to work and report when clear.
10-4.
Perfect. Hoping to have this one done within an hour, Adam.
Okay, about an hour. Thanks, Aaron.
All right, thank you.
Bye.
Bye. All right, guys, so you'll see at the job site, I probably won't gather a whole lot of footage where I have some outside agency contractors with me here, but the biggest hazard at this job site is it's an 80-kilometer-an-hour zone, twisty and turned, windy road, and the sun is setting. It's right in traffic size, so we do not want to set up our trucks on the road at all. We don't have any traffic control with us here today. So what we're going to do, we're going to get there's two boom trucks, one in each driveway. We're going to set up the grounds in that same span from the driveway and remove this tree right from the ground using a chainsaw and all of our PPE. Hopefully everything goes well. If it doesn't, we'll stop work, come up with a change of plans, and go from there. But I'll try and get you guys a few shots of the job site here. So we've got our truck set up in the driveway behind me. You can see this blind hill up there, blind turn right there. We don't want to have anyone in the road. Second truck is off the distance in that other driveway. Should be a pretty easy cut, not too big of a tree. All the wires are still up in the air. Right now he's just checking for a potential. Boys are getting the chainsaw ready, have all their chainsaw PPE, chainsaw pants. You can see cars come around this turn pretty hard and fast. So he's gonna get all 3 phases grounded there. Wind's still blowing pretty hard. Nice, these boys got that aero board in the back of the truck. That's pretty cool. I like that. Getting cold out now.
starting with the phase closest to him and then going to work his way in. Excellent work. All right, I'm gonna go have a chat with the boys here, make sure they get everything all ready to go.
I guess they said don't go this way, there's some pretty bad drops.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I wonder if we
Which
come
way
right
did you guys come in? Up there?
Man, I've never seen fir trees grow so thick like that.
Yeah, it's weird. Oh, see what they mean about
Yeah. Oh, Jesus. There's like potholes in the ground here. All right. Yeah. All right. Dude.
Operations hold, please.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hey, Jeff, it's Aaron here. How you doing?
Good, man. Yourself?
Good, good. I've got a permit out 160542, ready to surrender.
All right, I got her up here, man. You can go ahead whenever you're ready.
Alright, so we've completed our work permit 160542 between protection points 8209 SO46 and 8209 SO10. All work has been completed as planned, temporary grounds bond's been removed, and men are clear and instructed to remain clear.
10-4, Aaron, so understand, surrendering your work permit 160542 between protection points 8209 SO46 and 8209 SO10. And all work was completed as planned. All personnel are clear and instructed to remain clear, and all temporary bonds and grounds have been removed there. 10-4.
10-4, that is correct.
Alrighty, so I'll give you both instructs here.
Yep.
So whenever you're ready, Aaron, you can go ahead and close 8209 SO10 with 100 amp fuses there, and then you can remove tag 160542, and also remove that tag from normal open 8209 SO46 and report.
10-4, you said that whenever we're ready, we can go ahead and close 8209 SO10 with 100 amp fuses, remove tag 160542, also remove that tag from normal open 8209 SO46 and report.
10-4, sir.
Perfect, won't be too long.
Okay, man.
All right, thanks, bye. All right, boys are all set up, ready to go. This is going to pick up 159 customers. Then we're going to the hotel.
Probably just gonna have to
Pay for the customer's upgrade?
pay to basically rewire the
Yeah.
shop.
I think they did. I'm pretty sure they did. Beauty.
I know the first kind of thing that the plan was that.
All right, that is beautiful. We've got all those customers back on. Just got to report our steps.
Braces, Jeff.
Hey, Jeff, it's Aaron here.
Hey, man.
I've got some steps to report for you for permit 160542.
Alright. Where did that go? Right there. Alright, you go ahead, sir.
Okay, so I'd like to report that we refuse and close 8209 SO10 with 100 amp fuses. Remove tag 160542. Also remove that tag from normal open 8209 SO46. Everyone's back on here.
10-4, Aaron, so understand, refused and closed, 8209 SO10, 100 amp fuses there, and remove tag 160542, and also remove that tag from normal open 8209 SO46, and everything's back to normal there.
10-4, man.
Right on. You guys are probably done at 10-2, are you?
Yeah, that's it for us for the night, and I'll see if I'm on the road. I'm not sure if I'm going to be doing field visits tomorrow or taking the contractors again, but if not, I'll talk to you in the morning.
Sounds good, man. Have a good rest.
All right.
Talk to you later.
Thanks.
Okay,
Bye. All right, beauty. So, not sure where we're going to end up tomorrow, but waking up at 5:30, 16-hour day, and we'll see you guys tomorrow. Alright guys, so the sun is shining. We're back in action. I'm just at the local office right now. Had to grab a new computer because I borrowed one from a crew. Gonna head across to the shopping mall across the street, pick up my contractors, and we'll see what we got today. Wow, this computer booted up way faster than mine. There are 2 calls on me so far. Kind of sounds like about midday we might be shipping out to another city again, a couple hours away. See how the day goes. We've got wires down, pole to pole. Car will hit limbs if driving under 2 houses from this address. Concerned that wire will become live. So that's one of them. And the other is dead tree lying on primary pole to pole, causing lights to flicker. Alright, we'll see if that's actually primary or not. Sounds like 2 fairly easy calls. One of them shows 0 customers out, the other one shows 12. So we'll head to the 12 customer outage first. I'm gonna gather up the crews. We just went by the main road now. We'll see y'all soon. The truck's rolling in down there. Looks like there's 4 or 5 of them on site now. fellas all had their breakfast already, are ready to go. All right.
Aaron, I got a permit ready here for you, man.
Okay, go ahead.
160594 is going to be the number.
160594, got it.
Okay, so grease protection 8225 SO28 in line for wires down at 8225 H1 L10 R171 R10.
Yeah, 10 for grease protection points 8225 SO28 to the end of the line. For work location being at 8225 H1 L10 R171 R10.
10 for say you agree with that protection, so when you're ready, you can open or check open 8225 SO28. Install radio work permit tag 160594. You can check for potential. If non-protect yourself in grounds bonds at all times, go to work. Work complete, enter clear, instructor main clear, grounds bonds, enter road, close 8225 SO28. Remove radio work permit tag 160594 and report.
10 for Joe, you said whenever we're ready we can go ahead and open or check open 8225 SO28. Install workman tag, radial workman tag 160594. We can then go ahead and check for potential. If not, install necessary grounds and bonds. Go to work. When all work is complete, men are clear, instructor main clear, and temporary grounds and bonds have been removed. We can go ahead and remove tag and close 8225 SO28 and report.
10-4.
Right on. What do you got for a fuse size on that one?
I show a 10 amp fuse there.
10 amp fuse. Perfect. And we'll have this back on by 10:30. Yeah.
Nice drive.
Yeah, for sure.
Come on, man. Pace yourself. We'll talk to you after.
Sounds good, man.
Thanks.
All right, bye. All right, guys. So I'm sure that line's open. The primary and neutral are wrapped right around each other. It's been sitting like that all night. No crews have been out in this area yet, but the cutout was closed. So, I mean, there's a chance that's live. I highly doubt it. Either way, you definitely would not want to go near that wire. We were 100% treating it as energized. Now that we're on site, I've got 2 trucks behind me, 2 contractors. We're going to have one truck stay right here on site, and I'm going to go back to the switch with the other truck. We're going to open that cutout, remove the door, come back on site here. Now, where the wire is broken, we can't just put a ground on the source side. Otherwise, when you grab the other side, that wire is isolated. There would be a difference in potential, almost for sure. So we will have to ground either side of the work site. We'll start off first by removing the tree, pop a couple quick sleeves in that wire. We should be in and out of here in less than a couple hours for sure. Wind's still blowing a little bit.
A little bit, but it's still hooked
It's
there.
still hung up on the stump.
Yeah, I'll back her up. Wire is all back up in the air. We've got the grounds and bonds removed. Most important step before we energize that line. It's not a huge deal. I only get 4 guys on site, so there won't be a whole lot of confusion. But one of the most important steps before you energize it is to make sure that each and every person on site is clear of the primary and is aware that the ground's removed and the line's going to be energized. So I will check individually with all 4 linemen that are here, make sure they are all clear of the line, and we've already got permission from our dispatcher to close her in. All right, so quite a bit of time has passed since the last job. We are in another city yet again, about 2 hours away from our last location. We're on a job site here where there's pretty big, well, for what I'm used to in our province, pretty big pine trees. Real nice spot right along the ocean. We're right on the US border actually. So that water there, on the other side of that, that is the United States over there. So a bit of a mess, nothing too serious. Let's take a walk up the road and I'll show you guys what we're going to do here today. So the single phase sideline, it's fed up the other side of the horizon there. We've got that switch open already, the doors are moved. First thing we notice coming down this driveway, you can see the sag on the neutral. Zoom way in, that's the neutral wire, and it's coming way down below the telephone. The reason for that is, off in the distance, there's a tree that came down through the primary and neutral. All the wires are all over the ground there. Look at that, I can zoom all the way into the tree. So that tree has a ridiculous amount of tension on that telephone. You can see the wire going up to either pole. It has the telephone wire right down on that guy's shed almost. So that tension is causing the rest of our wires to go slack. So plan of attack here, we want to get rid of that tree before we fix any of our conductors. Since the primary is broken, we do have to ground either side of the break, both sides of the work area. Flip the camera around here again. So we got the boys got the ground on here on one side already. We're gonna set a ground up on that transformer. Primary and neutral's both gone there. Let's take a walk and we'll show you a little bit better view of the job site. Might as well keep the camera rolling. So this primary wire is grounded now. A little bit of a swampy area here. That's the neutral wire on the ground right there. There's something I want to show you guys up on this other pole. That was part of our plan, part of our tailboard here. You can see that telephone way down. Let's take a look at the tree here. The break was right at the pole, so this primary is all still grounded. There is a lot of tension on this pole. So one of the biggest hazards we've identified for the job site is to keep out of the line of fire. We will be securing that telephone line with some rope somehow here as we remove that tree so nothing comes flying off at us. Boys are putting the ground up here. So once that ground is installed, the second thing he's going to do, the primary is holding on to that pin by a thread. So we're going to have him install a set of come-alongs. That way when things get shaken around as we cut that tree, we don't lose that primary on the ground. See, the primary is just holding on by that tie wire, so that's what we're going to secure with the come-alongs. And the tree that broke came from way up there. There's quite a few trees in the area actually with the tops broke off, so that was another one of our hazards in the tailboard, was to keep an eye out for broken limbs over top. These limbs can easily weigh hundreds of pounds. We don't want nothing coming down on our head while we're working here. Beauty.
Geez, that went better.
That went real good, yeah.
Was that heavy, Aaron?
No, not at all. I had her fully locked.
Excellent. She come up pretty good. It's a long span.
Yeah.
Get all that wire untangled there. I think so, yeah, it is.
No, I think this is the neutral.
Yeah, that one's a neutral that you just pulled tight.
Okay, that's the neutral there.
I'd keep that tight and keep pulling this one and see. They might naturally unwind. I think the primary has to go over once this way. Yeah. Alright, so we've got the primary all untangled, ready to go. We'll get that guy sagged up first. Boys got her all untangled here.
You get any cutters?
Another big chunk there. Come off of that guy. Would have been quite a crash. Pad mounted at the end of this line underground, feeding that big old place back there. Looks like quite the spot. It's important too when you have a tree cause that much damage on the lines to check the associated poles, the ties on the primary, as well as people's masts. Not this one in particular, but the other homes back there. You definitely want to check out the masts. Make sure nobody's mast got tweaked or could pull on the wires and break the lugs in behind the meter. Quite the spot. Nice little beach. And as I mentioned earlier, that's the United States, Canada, US. Not sure what that building is way over there. Job's going really well so far. That chunk of tree come off real easy. Got the wire untangled. We'll have this place up and running in no time at all. Here's a good example here. Must have been a tree come down in the past. You can see the boys working right there. When a tree come down and pulled on that pole, it's all disconnected now. But the wires would have yanked this guy right off the house. That's definitely what happened. Ripped that mast pipe, the lag bolts right off the house. Oftentimes when that happens, the wire inside here, it'll snap one of those lugs right off. So that's stuff that's real easy to miss. You see all the damage, at least 100 meters away. Get all the wire back up in the air, poles are all good. But it's not uncommon to find damage further down the line like that. That's why it's real important to go over the entire work site. If that still had a loop on it, we would have to cut that off. Homeowner would have to get an electrician, make repairs to his mast before we could re-energize that. But I'm assuming it's still good shape, so they must be just using this as a camp without power by the looks of things. That line's still connected to this guy over here, so we'll take a walk over and check this cottage as well. You can definitely see this pole was tweaked at one point. It's leaning quite a bit to the right. Somebody was here and tied that onto the pole. Not in the best way. Definitely got pulled. And brand new mast. So yeah, this guy's mast definitely got ripped off at one point. That's brand new. It's a newer type insulator, nice and straight. You can actually see the damage from when it got pulled out. Hard to say when that was, but probably last winter. Yep. Yeah, it's in. Beauty. Yes, sir. All right, we got that last fella back on. Read another call here now. This one's only affecting one single customer. I'll show you guys a couple clips in a moment. There was quite a fire on this guy here. So I'm just gonna do up our tailboard sheet with all the details. I don't think I'll run through the recording for the conversation with the dispatcher. It's gonna be well, actually, this is a radial. 3 trees on the primary at pole 71, R83, R3L1.
3 trees in the primary there, 71, R83, R3L1. You're looking for a permit to remove it.
10-4, that's correct.
Submit part 160758 here.
160758. Got it. Just got a call on staying at.
Nice.
It's a lot better than the Lonesome Inn. You ever stayed there?
Which one's that?
It's called the.
No, I don't think so. No.
Oh, it's brutal. We call it the Lonesome Inn.
Really? Pretty old spot.
Oh yeah, it's brutal.
Right on. So 160758.
Okay.
Just to remove a tree or a few trees there. 71 R83 R3L1. You agree with protection. 7925 S121 in 1.
Yep. 10-4. So work location 71 R83 R3L1. I agree with protection points being 7925 S121 to the end of the line.
10-4. So you agree with that? So when you're ready, you can check open 7925 S121. Install radio work permit tab 16078. Potential is none. Protect yourself against your grounds and bonds at all times. Go to work. Work complete. Men are clear. Instructor being clear. Grounds and bonds been removed. You close. 7925 S121. Remove radio work permit tag 160758. Report.
10-4. You said whenever we're ready, we can go ahead and check open 7925 S121. Install radio permit tag 160758. And then go ahead and check for potential. If none, install necessary grounds and bonds. Go to work. One over is complete. Men are clear. Instructor remain clear. Temporary grounds and bonds have been removed. We can then refuse and close 7925 S121. Remove tag and report.
Yeah, 10-4. I see there was a emergency call on you there for that same place. I'll get rid of that. Just put this permit number on it.
Yeah. 1 road. Yeah. It's on my computer if you want me to complete it, or if you want to complete it.
No, I'll just get rid of it here.
Okay.
One less free to deal with.
Sounds good.
Yeah. Okay, man. Talk to you in a bit.
All right. Thanks, Joe.
Thanks.
Bye-bye. All right, so we've got a radial permit in effect. This sideline's only one span. Pretty easy to figure out protection points on this one. So when they say a radial permit, there's no alternate feed coming into the work area. So that's why they just say to the end of the line. There's no other line feeding in. We still have to protect ourselves from back feed from a customer's service transformer, if there's a generator or something like that. So the line's not broken. We'll just need to install the one ground on here and remove the trees mid-span. But we'll get a couple shots of what was on fire here in just a moment. Just checking for potential right now. Installing the ground. No need for a cluster bar here. We're going to be working mid-span. See where there was pretty good fire up there. And that top burn off. And it right down in here. That's pretty interesting. I've never seen that before. Burnt a ring right around the inside of the tree. Huh. That's pretty cool. Weird. Started a bit of a grass fire over here. Yeah. Third one up here.
Didn't roll.
She's gonna keep coming. Beauty. Yeah, but it worked.
Oh yeah, like never. I haven't had one go like bad or anything yet, but like it would have been like probably that tall, but maybe like 6 inches or 8 inches bigger at the top.
Alright, so it's been a great day so far. Getting lots of work done, a little bit of windshield time, no real big messes, and most importantly, nobody got hurt. So we've got our calls cleaned up for this area, but a passerby stopped and said his power was out not too far from here. So I called the office. They have no record of there being an outage in this area. It's only maybe a 15-minute drive, so we're going to scoot over there. Usually if somebody stops says your power's out, or power's probably out. So we're going to head that way and see what we're going to do. So this last call was a bit of a doozy. We rolled in to find the pole completely snapped off, transformer laying on the ground, a little bit of an oil spill. We only had 2 hours left until our 16 hours where we were required mandatory rest. So we called one of the local crews from the area and they assisted us with a bit of an oil spill cleanup. We got the transformer all bagged and tagged, just kind of cleaned up the work site, made everything safe, and the local fellas were going to tackle that job the following day, where it did require some specialized equipment. So once that was cleaned up, we headed off to our hotel, had a super nice hotel, and the dispatcher informed us that the outages, other than that camp, someone wasn't living in that camp full time. So the outages in the area were pretty well cleaned up. There was a couple stragglers that were about a 2-hour drive out of town, basically in the middle of nowhere. We were told that we would check those out the following day, and other than that pretty well cleans up the storm. So still trucking, only a few calls left, mostly non-outage calls, a lot of trees down on some customer loops on the triplex. That's what we're cleaning up now. I'm about 4 hours from home at the moment. Raining today, had a bit of a mess last night there with the transformer that landed on the ground. There's another local crew that works for the utility that's going to be looking after that. But pretty basic stuff here, nothing real exciting. We'll grab a couple shots of the job site here, and I imagine by mid-afternoon we'll be heading her back home.